comes the evil, wicked laugh as the purple-gloved hand is holding reverently the Breifne shard. You can see the hand grasps the shard and his other hand caress it like a gentle and familiar lover. The hand reaches down and grabs a cane, pushes a button. A slot opens up on the cane, and the gloved hand slides the Breifne shard into the cane. It closes up, and then the cane just seems to take on this energy and glow to it before it settles back down into its mundane self. And this voice behind that wicked laugh says, "And now they shall deal with the full might of the specter." And the scene fades to black.
NCRP Productions presents Torg Eternity by Ulisses Spiele. The Breifne Crown. Episode 27.
Welcome, everyone, to a Sunday of possibilities. And we are back for the Breifne Crown adventure. My name is Greg, and I will be the GM for this session of Torg. Let's go and introduce our players and the respective characters, starting to my left.
This is Dan. I am playing Professor Graves. He is a practitioner of the weird sciences from the Nile Empire.
And this is Shan, and I'm playing Azrael, the cyber witch from the cyber papacy.
Hey, it's Barry. I am running Max Elite, the freedom fighter from Tharcold.
Hello, this is Victoria. I'm playing Iara Bay, the Eilish necromancer elf.
And this is Aaron. I'm playing Ufa Ali from the Nile Empire, otherwise known as the Twilight Jackal of Cairo.
All right, so can someone give us a recap of what happened last session?
So, we had gotten to the tomb of King Manos. And we had left Azrael back to wait for Eva, so she was not with us. We made our way through the tomb hallways, which had a couple different traps and such that we.
Or what happened in the
through.
labyrinth, though?
Oh, yes, the labyrinth. We got to near the center and was attacked by a minotaur. We already have done the recap for the rest of it, right? That's where we kind of ended at the.
Yeah, that was the end of the previous week's episode, because Shan was out for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Right.
But just catch her up.
Yeah. Okay. So we went through the maze while having trials and tribulations of trying to figure out the best way to do so, which included me trying to do magic, which didn't work, and then using a card that let me use my Cosm's everything, which did let me use magic. So we tried burying the walls, which got us maybe halfway there until the maze figured out that what we were doing, and then so it stopped letting me do that. It was letting us get to the center, but super slow and not very easily. And then the jackal thought maybe if we go backwards we could confuse the maze trying to confuse us. So we tried walking backwards without looking, and it worked and led us just a straight line to the center. But as we got closer, we heard very loud footsteps and were attacked by a minotaur. Which the minotaur didn't almost kill Max, but Jackal did.
Friendly fire again!
Shooting into melee is dangerous.
Yes.
But the Jackal made up for it by rolling incredible amounts of damage against the minotaur. It was like 57 or 59
one
damage.
perfect shot.
Yes, one perfect shot. And then we were able, with cards, to keep the minotaur from soaking up damage. So he died a lot. We made it to King Manos' tomb, where we figured out, where Professor Graves figured out the riddle to open up the door, and then we found out that there was no bad air or stagnant air, so we believed that somebody had been there before us, or recently at least. And then we made our way through the hallways, which had some traps, and then got to the center of the tomb, where there were 4 skeletons standing there, and then King Manos was he in a thing or on top of a slab?
He was on the slab.
On the slab, with his armor and shield and circlet and gladius and circlet on his head. I could feel that him and the skeletons were undead but not activated undead, so we figured there was something that would activate them, but we couldn't figure out what that was initially.
We had an idea.
We had an idea. We tried to kill them prior to, so we shot a bunch of arrows at one of the skeletons and nothing happened. Me forgetting that shooting at a skeleton does nothing, even when it's activated. So that didn't do anything. There was another riddle before we entered. No, once I went in just in case, and then there was a riddle, which again Professor Graves figured out. And then once I got to the king, he had in his circlet was a perfectly shaped empty space for where a shard would be, and we didn't think that was enough, so we decided to disturb
The shard
him.
could have been somewhere else. It didn't necessarily have to be in the crown correctly.
Right, so we decided to disturb him.
So like all good 1930s grave robbers.
Which I was not a part of. I was standing at the door.
It was just Max and myself that decided to disturb him, which that activated him, and I made the decision that we should just run, and we did.
We did.
Because I think Max got stabbed?
Yeah,
And it like
skewered.
pretty much almost killed you.
I'm so scarred up, I don't
Yeah.
even remember anymore.
Again, Max was close to death,
Yeah.
so we ran.
Yeah, I think Max took 2 wounds on one strike.
He did,
Yes,
yeah.
And so, we just decided it'd be best to run because we were pretty sure the shard was not there. So we ran. We had a dramatic scene, which we managed. Was it dramatic?
Chase.
Dramatic chase, dramatic resolution.
Which we actually succeeded in finishing and getting away. And then we managed to get out of the tomb.
Which is where we picked up now. So at this point, you guys burst out of the tomb of King Minos, and you're up overlooking the now expanse of ruins that was once the labyrinth of Gnosis.
And up this hill, can we look down? Do the ruins look like a labyrinth? Or do they just look like a bunch of ruins and the labyrinth built itself over them?
No, you can see where the ruins did form a labyrinth.
Okay.
But it wasn't. It wasn't alive like it was. You can't
Right.
tell anything for that. You can still see the big corpse of the Mentor. So that was just even from this distance, just how big he was. But yeah, it's just ruins now.
And can we see Azrael at this point?
It was miles a distance, so I mean, you're not going to be able to see her miles. But
I think we should go back and get Azrael.
I agree.
Yeah.
Also, side note, Minotaurs are not humanoids, so I wasn't able to make it a zombie.
Oh,
I
really?
tried
Atrocities.
though. I wanted
They're
to.
not?
No.
Nope.
They're
It's actually
beasts.
surprising because you'd think.
Yeah.
Because it's half man, half
Yeah.
bull.
I was
Yeah.
hoping.
It's a creature.
Yeah. It's a creature.
Is anybody injured?
He is.
I still carry the
Axes.
wounds from the last battle.
Okay.
Would you like some first aid?
I certainly would.
The professor pulls out his
Let me
first
pull the
aid
scars
kit.
back so you can get to the current wound.
And again, his first aid kit is not just band-aids and iodine
Right.
and gauze. It is...
What's the yellow stuff there, Doc?
Why is it smoking?
Right, right.
What's this mechanical thing?
You're lighting it?
Is that a
the
drill?
end that's going in me? Hold on.
Put these earmuffs on.
So that is not great, but it is an 11.
So that is a standard success, and that was what, 1 wound, all shock?
Yes.
Oh, good. All right. I will take it.
Has the door closed or is it still open?
Did you guys close it when you come running out?
I did not close it yet, but I want to.
Why do I think something collapsed? It didn't collapse.
No,
Okay.
nothing collapsed.
Right, yeah.
Wasn't that dramatic?
We should shut the door.
Yeah, I'll shut the door.
Absolutely.
And
And then barricade it if we have the ability to.
yeah, I'm gonna seal it again with the seal that was on it,
Maybe we should.
if that's possible.
Yeah.
But make it ceremonial, as the jackal would.
Yep, the jackal can... You're not really sure if it's effective, but it felt right.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. It's not my religion necessarily, but I understand where the respect needs to be.
But it felt right.
Yeah.
And you start making your way down. Now, obviously, you can just climb right over the ruins. I mean, they're only...
It's just a walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I mean, it's a couple-mile walk, but...
What is the plan at this point? I mean, the shard is obviously in the hands of either Lady Nightbird or Agaris, or it was never here.
Who is Lady Nightbird?
A
And
necromancer
Agaris?
from Isle, as far as I understand.
As if I recall correctly, yes, she is a necromancer from Isle that we met on our first jaunt to find a shard in the Isle lands.
And no disrespect to Iara, but she is incredibly powerful. It was, I would say, fortuitous that she didn't battle us longer.
And the other individual you were talking about?
Agaris is the demon from my world, from Tharkold, that seems to have been the one that figured out about the Breifne Crown and the placement of the shards.
Are they
Out of
working
character.
together?
Agaris was the demon working with Jezreel. Yavich,
I'm
Yavich,
sorry.
Yeah, it's Yavich.
the demon Yavich, was the one who is seeking the Breifne Crown.
Okay,
Are
changing
they
it in my
both-
notes.
Are Agaris and Lady...
Yavich.
Yavich is the actual. it's
My
Luke.
screw up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yavich and Lady Nightbird were together the first time we saw them, and she disappeared first.
He disappeared first. We battled her, and like I said, it was fortuitous, but she left. And we've run into her a second time too.
Yeah.
When we were in the Living Lands.
In which she was helpful to us. No, that was not her.
No, that
Who
wasn't
was the one
her.
that made a deal
We
with?
got out before she realized who was there and had taken the shard.
Didn't I have had a premonition that somebody would help us?
Jezreel.
Jezreel was the one that. Okay, I apologize.
Which we may still come back to that one.
Right.
So at this point, we have to assume that 2 of the shards are in the hands of the demon and the lady, and we now maintain control over the other 2.
This is the second time they've gotten to it before we
Yep.
have gotten to it.
Yep. And our concern is we're going to have to get the shards from them, and or they're going to endeavor to get the shards from us. So it's a twofold thing to get the rest of them
That
sooner.
confrontation will happen one way or the other.
I have a bad feeling. And our hopes are that we may be able to get a demon whose powers are greater than Yavich's to come onto our side and take him out. We made a deal, I guess I would say. When we were back in Tharkold, we made a deal with one of the demon lords to help us.
Roll reality, Professor.
Okay. A 1.
I have no idea. I mean, you know some of the worlds, but demons and demon lords and whatnot, just not clicking.
Okay.
And this was all brought on by our original encounter with, I think I told you, with an entity calling itself the Lady of the Lake.
Right. You did tell me that part. Yes.
So that's where we're at this point. It's still a race to see if we can beat them to the other shards, which brings forth the question, where do we go next? I mean, we have locations.
And how do we get there? Do we
Yeah,
use
Yeah,
a
That's
we're
plane?
on an
question
island
as well.
right now.
I mean, is there any way that we could potentially fix this plane, Professor Graves?
Well, is there anything wrong with the plane other than the
Uh,
landing gear?
The back
We can
end, I
take
think,
off-
we've blown out.
We can take off, but we can't land?
Yeah, we did get hit by
There's a problem.
Yeah.
I think
blown-
I might be able to jury rig something up if we could. The question is whether there's a long enough run to get this plane airborne again.
I mean, we were able to see
We were able to land.
Azrael from like half a mile away, so I would
Across
imagine-
ruins, we're not going to be able to bring this thing across while we're walking.
Right.
No,
we need
not here, but-
a long flat area to get this thing airborne. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a halfway decent pilot, so I should be able to get us up
Can
there.
you, without the landing gear, can you take off from the sea? From
We
the
would have
sea's
to make
surface?
something in order for that to happen.
No.
If there's enough of a drop, what I'm thinking is, because this is a rather mountainous island, if we can get enough of a drop off a cliff to kind of give us that extra time.
So we would have to get it up the cliff first.
drop off of it.
Drop off the cliff. So
Yes,
if
but we would
there's-
have to get it up the cliff first because
If we're
it's
not
right
on a
there
cliff.
down at sea level.
Yeah, it's at sea level.
So we would have to get it up a cliff
Never
to
mind.
then drop it off a cliff.
Also, I
I've
don't
seen
like
some
the idea of
techniques.
dropping off of a cliff.
I've seen some techniques, but it's not one that I typically practice.
The other option, of course, would be trying to get a hold of the Delphi Council, but for that we would need civilization.
I don't know what kind of radio the airplane or the biplane has.
Let's see Azrael up ahead. Let's see if she has any ideas.
Okay.
I think we should leave something behind for Eva too, just to let her know once we decide where we're going to point her in the right direction.
How about at the front, this space here where she went in? We leave something carved in it. When we make the decision, we'll carve the...
I'm thinking either here or where the plane is.
Azrael, any luck? Did you see
Are you
Eva?
guys are you
Yeah.
guys with
They were
me?
there.
Okay.
I take it we're probably there now. Yeah.
No, Eva hasn't come out of the door.
And you were looking because at one point you seen the living wall that made up the labyrinth, and all of a sudden just kind of stopped shifting, and you smelled like a brief smell of of decaying plant life, and then just watched as the walls just end up, the plants just kind of browned and disintegrated within seconds, and the walls just reduced themselves to ruins right in front of your eyes.
They're no more than 3 stones in height anywhere, right? Is
No.
that what we understood?
Yep.
So we had no luck inside the labyrinth, nor in the mountain that we climbed, where we believed the crown was that would hold the shard. The crown was there, the shard was not. So at this point, we have to assume it's been taken.
Who do you think took it?
Yavich and Lady Nightbird. I mean, I can't be certain.
Seems like the most logical.
We didn't see any disturbance of the dust around it, but
They're the ones that had the ear map, right?
correct.
In my previous experience with the Amaranthian Spectre, he was a avid grave robber.
The
It's-
specter.
Yes.
Again, though, there were no footsteps in the dust.
And
They-
didn't Yavich and Lady Nightbird come through some kind of portal?
They did, but we did see steps in every
That's
case.
true.
We saw footsteps in the aisle, the castle, or the crypt under the castle and aisle. We did see footsteps around where Lady Nightbird came out when we were in the Living Lands.
But
And-
those were their, like, at least I remember in the Living Lands it was the lizard people that I can't think of.
Dinos.
The Dinos is what's that.
Yes, but still, there was disturbance. I don't think they can move without disturbing
without
the dust.
somebody else. being-
So
This-
those that went into Minos' tomb, roll mind.
11.
6.
9. So, Professor, as they're talking, and you're not engaging in this conversation, but you're you're listening and talking, reflecting back on the tomb. You recall what you think. You look back, and there was fine art and whatnot displayed in the tomb as homage to Minos to take with them in death. But there were also, you think there were disturbances there that caught your memory before King Minos animated, and so, but it's just tickling your memory.
Now that I think about it, there did seem to be, within the actual tomb, some sort of disturbance. Like, it is possible that somebody could have been there ahead of us.
I see nothing. I saw nothing in the dust. No footprints. What do you mean by a disturbance?
It seemed to me that some of the things in the tomb might have been out of place, like somebody had moved them recently. I'm just recalling this now. It didn't seem important at the time.
like the items within the tomb.
Yes.
The only way somebody could leave no footprints is if they levitate.
Or fly?
Well, flying would imply flapping of wings and therefore disturbance of dust.
Not
Not
necessarily.
necessarily. There are many ways to
Would it-
fly, especially in the Nile Empire.
Without propulsion?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Does your specter have the ability to do that?
I guess what I mean is this thing doesn't have wings by method of flight. It flies by other than
Yeah,
flapping.
by other means, yes.
Okay.
Has the professor heard of the Spectre?
He's typically not in Benghazi. Go ahead and roll Scholar.
That would be a 20.
Yeah, he's cruel enough and insidious enough that even in Benghazi, you've heard of the Amaranth Inspector. Known tomb robber, was really active in Cairo, and one of the things that he was known for that got to you is ransacking tombs, and then not just that, but also actively engaging in changing like the hieroglyphics on it to lead false clues or just be cruel. No one really knows why, but
Just to be a dick.
just to be a purple
Just
dick.
a royal piece of shit. Royal purple.
So why out of all the tombs that I've understood are in this area would he pick this one? It seems odd.
Minos is an important figure.
He is?
Yes.
And this area has just recently been taken over by Mobius in the Nile Empire. So it could be that he just hasn't had the opportunity.
He
yet.
then works for Mobius then?
It is a enabling relationship more than working directly for.
Okay. Well, that actually, Professor, that makes good sense. So if he just became aware of it, and this is an important person, maybe it's one of the bigger tombs down here. And
It
that
is.
would-
I'm sure
that
it would be, yes.
In
That
Crete,
would be
it
a
is-
draw.
yeah.
Well, then let's find this Amaranthian Spectre and take the gem from him.
We just need to find him.
And how would we do that?
Yes, we all look at you.
I think first we need to figure out how we're going to get off this island.
Yes,
I
maybe.
think we should probably start with a radio, see if we could maybe...
Yeah, we'll see what the
Call for
radio
some help.
on the plane, what's possible, or
To the
abilities
plane.
are.
To the plane! So
Let's go.
it was a couple mile hike to get up to the maze, so you guys make your way back down to Oceanside. And everyone roll a find for me.
Can we help someone else, or is it all
Individuals.
Of us? Okay.
14.
I rolled a 1.
Okay.
I have a 4.
14 as well.
Okay.
8.
So your elven eyes and your powers of observation, as you guys are walking down off on the distance on the horizon of the water, you see what looks like from here what would be a large rooster tail of water as some type of watercraft appears to be going at a very fast rate of speed in the direction of Libya.
Do you see that, Iara?
I do.
What do you see?
It's some kind of craft traveling, currently racing by the island. I wonder if perhaps we could signal it.
Where?
It's racing
That
away
way.
back to Libya.
Back to Libya.
Back to
oh,
Libya.
Something-
perhaps that's whoever took the...
Spectre in the boat.
Could be.
Can
shard.
you see it, Jackal?
And
It's that
Binoculars.
now that I know that I'm being pointed out,
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. It's difficult to discern who it is.
Is it his craft? I mean, this Spectre seems to be somebody that might announce his presence with, I don't know, a Spectre mobile or something like that.
Is it gaudy as all get out?
Pull out
You
the
just
binoculars.
see you just see the rooster tail.
Just I don't. Unfortunately, I
Can I pull
cannot
out the
make out.
binoculars and take a look?
Roll
Get a-
find.
17.
17. It doesn't have any type of panache that you would associate with the Spectre. And you're also quite certain that this is not Nihilish tech.
Right.
Does somebody have a flare gun?
I have flares.
I also have flares. I can throw it in the air.
I have lightning.
She has lightning.
I will say I've never seen this type of vehicle. It's not native to the Nile Empire.
Is it to Earth?
Have I seen anything like this pre...
When you transformed, you can't recall.
I mean, I've seen some of the stuff from the Delphi Council. Would I be able to discern?
Do you have water vehicles?
No, but it's not trained. I don't think that it has to be trained.
But
I don't have an ad
But you
in
don't
it.
have a familiarity with it, so you don't recognize.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. So then, no, I couldn't tell you.
And as you guys keep going, I mean, it's continually
Yeah.
moving away.
Try to lightning near it to get its attention.
Can I do that, like, not to cause damage, just to, like, make a flash?
I mean, it's pretty far out there now that, and you're having actually a hard time seeing it just based off
I'm
your
like,
roll.
which direction? Don't see it.
Try to turn that way.
Yeah, I'm like looking this way and it's that way.
Well,
What's the range on your lightning?
I'll have to look at that. 'Cause,
Okay. While you're looking,
it's never been a question before.
Yeah, everything's always been up close.
yeah,
100 meters.
it's way past your range.
Okay.
Like I said, you just see, just elven eyes and the professor's keen observation just spotted that rooster tail.
and it seems like it's like leaving this island or
Directly
was it-
away from us, like it left the island.
Well, as you start looking, go ahead and roll a tracking.
What is tracking? What would that
It's
be?
a mind.
It should
Just
be
a straight
mine.
line.
10.
10.
14.
So as the both of you start looking around, you see up on the beach, just a little bit away from the plane, but looks like hole marks where something was pushed off or pushed up onto the beach.
And that definitely wasn't there when we landed.
No, you're positive.
That is concerning.
Somebody was
So
here already.
someone got
What do you
here
mean someone
after
was
us
here?
and left before
What
us.
do you see?
Do you see the marks here?
Are we there now?
Well, so
What's the distance?
you guys came up on the beach, and so where the plane was at, and
Okay.
and off
Over
in the
there, I
distance
thought
on
we
the
were still
water.
coming.
Yeah, no, off on the distance of the water, you saw the rooster tail. That's what you've been looking. And then as these two started, well, wait a minute, and then they looked upon the actual beach itself and could see hole marks.
So something pulled up on shore here then? Is that what we're thinking?
Yes. Seems like somebody was here after us and left before us.
That means they may have done something to the plane.
That's what I'm concerned about.
Quickly,
Possible.
let's
Yes.
check the plane out.
When you head down to the plane, the maintenance engine compartment is no longer latch closed.
Oh,
And so when
There's
you go to
3
pull it
sticks of
open,
dynamite
there's
with
like
a
wires
timer.
everywhere, just like they've been pulled out. And then when you look specifically for the radio, gone.
Completely gone,
Completely
not trash,
gone.
just pulled out.
Just pulled out.
I don't understand. Why would somebody come here simply to take a radio?
They want to stop us.
Well, they didn't just take the radio. They
also
sabotaged the
the
plane.
to the
Yeah.
point where we can't use it to leave.
I don't understand. For what purpose? Why would they endeavor to keep us here?
I can imagine several people having nefarious reasons for preventing our progress.
To leave us on an island and not simply kill us?
It seems like something the Spectre might do.
If
He
they thought they
regularly
couldn't kill us.
enjoys playing cat and mouse.
What is interesting to me is there's only a few people that actually knew where we were going specifically either. And one of the most recent person we told was Professor Aspartes.
Iara?
Fuck.
Nice.
Smart.
This last week. So you're thinking that Aspartes told the Spectre then? But what? Again, I asked, why would he come all this way to simply strand us on an island?
Clearly, he doesn't want us to leave.
I understand in your world they would probably just kill you, but I think it seems like Professor Aspartes is more of a cerebral and would want to mess with us, our minds, rather than just kill us, is what I understand from our interactions with him.
But what do you two know of this island? I mean, is there civilization anywhere on it? A
There should
town,
be,
a
yes.
fishing village?
Yes, they're pompous people, but they are here.
Which way? We should go. We should begin going now.
That's-
I'm sorry,
Yes.
Azrael. We should begin going now, don't you think?
I agree.
Roll science, Professor.
I was wondering if the boat had any kind of blow-up dinghy thing in it. We'd have to
23.
old-fashioned row us.
As you, so
Like,
you're
with
looking
our
at
hands
the
were like-
wires. They're not cut. They look like they're just pulled, just like yanked.
So the radio's gone, but given time, I might be able to repair the engine.
We could ride in and it's a conveyance as opposed to flying, but we could at least ride it up the
We
beach.
could perhaps, use it as a makeshift boat. Use the engine to propel us along. It has pontoons, yes? Does it have
Yes.
pontoons?
Because
So
in the event of
we
a
w-
water crash, it
We
would.
wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to. We might not be able to take air.
But I can certainly pilot it to move across the water.
But
It's
what-
going to be bumpy.
What do you need me
what-
to do? What can I do to help?
What else? What is the damage to the plane itself, other than the engine?
So the landing gear, which
Right.
you were able to jury rig mid-air, and the rudder was damaged from the bazooka as you were as the airship was going down
It was operational enough, but I feel
due to your flying.
due to my
skill.
flying skills.
Yes.
Yeah, but in terms of taking off, though, I'm concerned.
Okay,
That is something that would need to be addressed.
I could attempt to address both, or we could just work on the engine. I mean, I could attempt to jury rig both of them, but then again, you have twice the chance that
Yeah.
one or the other will fail.
Well, let me do something real quick. I'm gonna go and turn on the engine just to see if it turns on.
As you go to hit the
ignition,
yeah,
yeah.
and so I mean, as you start clicking on the lights to present power and whatnot, they don't, none of the lights on the dash, light up. When you go to click, it's just nothing. And again, you look at the compartment is propped open, and you can see just wires have been just ripped out.
Oh, this is something that even percussive correction could fix. We will need your skills to address this.
All right, well, let me start with the engine because that's going to be necessary either
Yeah.
way. So, Professor will pull out his kit and go to work on the engine, see what he can do.
Could I use my piloting skills to be like, I don't know if you've worked on engines before like this, to kind of give him a general layout of what needs to happen?
I absolutely think you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So you can either add +1, or you can roll your flying skill and add that to the science roll.
I'm going to roll the flying skill because that is significantly better than +1.
Go ahead.
13.
I got an 11 on the science roll.
11 on the science
So
roll.
is that 24 together?
No, so 13 is +1, so that would put yours at 12.
12, yeah.
You're positive that you can repair it.
Do I know what the target number was?
The target number was... No, you didn't.
I could play supporter, which gives +3 to any character's total.
So you're positive that you can repair it, but you don't know how much time it's going to take.
Do we want to do that?
Are we attempting to fix it, or are we just looking at it? Because I thought we were attempting to fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be more than willing to use this supporter card to give us +3.
I also have an action card, +3 to the total of your test. Maybe I'll play that.
Okay.
I mean, could I play another card to assist in this, or is it only one card per test?
One card per task.
Okay.
So that would give me a 15.
So 15? Yeah, like I said, you're positive, and you think you could probably get this going by tonight.
Okay.
It's just you're not familiar working with this type of engine, but with
The assistance of
the
the Jackal.
and his knowledge of of piloting aircraft
And X-ray vision.
and his X-ray vision. Yeah, by tonight you feel like you can get the engine definitely working. How you're going to get mobility with it, that's going to be a different matter.
Well,
but
one step at a time.
One step
So
at a time.
it's going to take a while, but I think I can get this engine working.
Yeah, I'll work with you through the night.
Yep. So yeah, around the evening time, we'll get it fixed up. What are you guys doing while they are working on the engine?
I don't know that there's much to do.
Yeah, I'm pretty useless in
Watch the
situations
area?
like this. Yeah.
If there's something close, I can go rummage through it, but I don't expect to find anything of use.
Like I look for berries on trees.
Okay.
If we're hungry, I don't know.
Foraging, that's good.
Yeah. So foraging.
can
One
build
thing
a
that you
tree.
will need. I mean, obviously, you're on the island in the Mediterranean. It's getting hot. You're going to get thirsty.
Of course I am.
Traumatic flashbacks of.
Yeah. I'm like, oh no, and then bugs are gonna bite me, and
So go ahead and roll survival, and you can get help from Max and Iara if you want.
I'm going to give you a +1.
No.
Oh,
I eat poison. Is that what happens? I rolled a 1.
No, I mean, you guys see.
there's just no water.
Well, there's plenty of water, but nothing
Right.
potable. And then you see Azrael trying to reach out and grab fish as they're going by. She's ankle deep in the water and just not getting any.
I told you I'm useless.
This is going to be more difficult than I thought.
I can fight, and that's about it.
Well, I will forage the other direction.
Go and just roll single, no assistance.
You roll
Yep,
again.
I just realized that's a 10. Followed by a 1 for an 11. That's an 8.
An 8.
I thought. No, never mind. You're right.
Because it's not a...
Yeah.
So an 8.
Yeah, now
I'm gonna get one of those later.
not doing much better than. At least you're not trying to grab fish out of the water.
Right, but I mean, there's...
It's like they're
there's-
slipping through my fingers.
there's absolutely nothing
slapping
edible
me in the
here.
face.
Not on the beach.
No, and digging down, all I'm getting is water that's still salted.
Yep.
Well, whatever we do, we should get out of here as soon as possible. I won't pester those two, except every once in a while to offer, is there anything that I can help with?
And I gesture towards your hands with the blades that pop out. Mm-hmm. Is there anything with those that we can use?
Maybe you could
seem
catch
to
these
have
fish.
technology within you.
I do, but nothing that would transfer. I have no guidance equipment or anything of that sort. That's a different type of cybernetics, or it's a different type of occult tech.
Yeah, it wouldn't be cybernetics, it'd be occult tech.
Either way, I'm interested.
Are you suggesting that you would like to take them apart? Is that what you
No,
are getting
I don't
at?
think that would assist here.
No, it would not.
But where you come from, I'm interested in these cyber occult tech.
I can describe them to you. I mean, if it would make the work easier, I can tell you about them as you go.
It's certainly past the time.
Okay. I am storytelling now. So, when the M3 slashers were first brought out,
They were much better than the M1s. And I don't even want to get started on the M2s.
The M2s were a mistake.
Time goes by, but all of a sudden, when you start flipping on, toggling the on switches, the red lights are coming on,
Yeah.
and as you
well, that sounds promising.
Quite.
and a few more tries, a few more tinkers, you're able to get the actual propellers going.
Perfect.
Nice.
Now, we've only been working on the engine for this entire time,
Correct.
correct? So the rudder is also something of concern. Would we
I'm
be able
actually not sure how long this engine's going to be able to function. So actually taking to the air with an engine that might cut out at any time might not be the wisest decision.
well, we still want to use the rudder to guide us
But
in
the
a direction.
plan was
whether
to
on the
ride
ground.
it as a boat. Could we simply ride it up
Ye-
the wet portion of the sand in a straight line, using the pontoons? I think that's what you call them, the pontoons as sleds.
We might be able to take what's left of the rudder and flip it down and create a sort of a rudder, as in for a boat, as opposed to a plane. We might be able to do that.
Yeah,
and
it's
just use it
possible.
as
Could
a
you
boat. Yeah.
get repair materials from the foliage, like wood and bark and...
I mean, unless you have different tools in that satchel of yours. I'm not sure what we have available in terms of tools to refine raw materials.
We do have cutting implements.
Yeah.
Max has cutting implements, so I think
Yes, I
we
can do
could.
that.
I think I could jury rig something.
Okay,
out.
yeah, let's do it then. Yeah, so all we have to do is extend upon the rudder that is currently, if we want to get it down
Right.
the water.
Let's push it into the water first.
Mhm.
Let's see if we can get into the water.
Okay.
Make sure it floats and everything's good there, and then.
As it sinks.
The bobs.
We forgot to plug the hole at the bottom when we hit the ground.
As you guys move, I mean, it takes everyone's strength to move it, but I mean, you're able to get it in time, and it gets up on the water, and the pontoons are doing its job.
Okay, Max, come with me. I think I'm going to need your cutting implements. We'll see if we
Absolutely,
can
Professor.
jury rig up something that I can use as a rudder.
Go and make your roll. Who's assisting?
I am. You're getting a +1 from me.
Yep,
Plus
just
one?
a +1.
Oh.
I'm not...
I'm more
Is-
concerned with the plane right now.
Is this going to be a weird science roll?
Yeah, you're basically making another gizmo.
Which means I make the roll when it's dramatically appropriate. So when we go to use it, that's when I make the roll to see if it works.
Well, I'm pretty sure that all of these sticks will work as a rudder.
Yes. I'm fairly certain.
Certainly it will work.
Yeah, so after removing the rudder, patching it together, using thick leaves and creating some type of weird
Like-
resin.
Turning it upside
Vines
down.
for a rope to manually pull the rudder in.
Absolutely.
This is a bit strange.
And it's right now about 10 o'clock at night, but it's about the best that you can do.
Do we see lights anywhere? Do we see something other than nature?
Not on this side of the island.
Yeah, I would suggest we just travel along the coast until we run into some sort of civilization.
Sounds about right. I'm gonna fire up the engine.
As the propellers.
This is promising.
It's good. Everybody load up. Let's go.
Yep.
So, what is the plan?
Drive on the coast just until we get somewhere.
Okay. So, you're basically just circling the island.
Yeah, we're gonna circumvent the shoreline.
Yeah, looking for any type of
Circumnavigate.
civilization.
Circumnavigate,
Yeah, circling the island, yep.
Okay.
As we circumvent it, we're just going out.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Wrong word. Bad word right now.
Go ahead and roll your piloting skill. Roll your weird science.
19 on the weird science.
19 is a plus.
20.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say 19 is going to be a +6. You get to add that to the roll.
Okay, so 26.
Yeah, so weird at first, but controls, and the professor did his job with the vines and the coconut pulleys that he created.
Straight up Gilligan's Island.
You're having to pedal it from the front seat.
This is to power just the rudder. The engine is doing just the rudder.
But you get the hang of it, and you're actually moving this thing quite a bit along.
All right, awesome. Well done, Professor. As
I
We're
knew
like
it would work.
strapped to the wings, right? Wasn't there? There's no.
Yeah, you had to
space for
harness
us?
yourselves to
Yeah.
the rings.
Except now we can probably
Except now I'm
sit-
dragging in the water.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
water
the-
ski.
The wings.
I have it's like a rope and a wakeboard.
So how long am I going to have to do this?
Just don't fall.
Well, the wings are up high enough where they're not in, so you
Sit
sit on
That's what I
on the
was thinking
wings
we were
and
doing.
We're not going that fast.
not going that fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
As we start getting on a straightaway, I'm curious, and I start to bring the power up as high as I can go. I want to see.
you
if
wanna
this thing
catch
will-
lift?
I think I want to catch lift a little bit. I want to see. I want to test it. Just go like that.
Spectre,
Just a little bit.
what are you doing?
Jackal.
Jackal,
Spectre,
what are
how
you doing?
dare you? And I really push it a little bit more.
Roll.
Okay.
Roll pilot.
And you realize I'm not strapped in, right?
I know,
I'm
it's
coupled.
Professor turns back. I think you guys are going to want to hold on a little
So
tighter.
I lay flat on the wing and I'm hugging it with my face down.
Now we're holding
That's a
on.
1.
That's a, so
Are you serious?
you go to lift, and all of a sudden you hear snap, snap, and the vines that they rigged up just start as it just, and boom, the nose of the plane just kind of dives down, and everyone gets splashed. You're propelling, you're still going forward, but you are no longer able to turn the craft.
I meant to do that. Seems to be something wrong with the rigging.
When it's time to turn into the land, we will move to the right-hand side of the plane and lean.
Like drag our body to like cause
Exactly. So you have to pull. Yeah, exactly. Just keep it on an even keel
like
and
hang
don't
off
lift
it.
again.
I won't lift.
Yeah. So when it comes time to turn,
Yeah.
everyone
Left.
leans over. You can see like this. No, it's you cannot turn this craft.
So we're permanently going straight.
Permanently going straight now.
Are we going like too far out into the water now? I take it.
Hey,
Or
you're
is-
getting-
how much shoreline is there left? On the
One of two things is going to happen. We're either going out into the water or we're going to
Into
hit
the-
land. Yeah.
So you're going out to the water. So you've been able to do that, but as the island goes this way, and you should have been turning,
Yeah.
you're now kind of going like this.
Uh-oh.
All right.
And Libya is over here.
Yeah.
So
going the literal
from where we
opposite
are we going the direction that we'll hit land?
I mean, no matter what, we'll
Oh,
hit land.
eventually we'll hit land.
At some
In
point.
a reasonable period of time, as
no,
three of us are
assuming
holding
we
on?
don't sink first.
Yeah.
Or run out of fuel.
Or run
Yeah.
out of fuel. Yes, that is also a concern.
Maybe we stop.
Bring the engine down.
Everybody's just glaring at you.
I did find out
Wait.
one thing.
Is this Ufa? Is Ufa back?
No.
Makes more sense if it was
So I
Ufa.
still believe that it is possible, at least for a short period of time, that if the three of us move to one wing, on the side of the island, we can at least turn it in that direction, but we won't get anywhere else, and we may lose the wing in the process.
Everyone roll a find for me.
16.
Also a 16. Oh, actually 17, sorry.
12.
17.
12.
6.
As you're just focusing on like, oh shit.
Yeah, I'm just I done fucked up. Yeah. But I won't admit it.
But the three that rolled 17, you look out, and all of a sudden you see like dorsal fins of
Oh,
sharks.
Oh, boy.
Ah, Jesus.
So are those friendly? Could we potentially hook up to them?
I wouldn't.
Oh, well then we have some trouble coming. How much of the creature is under the water?
A lot,
The size of the plane a lot?
depending on the species. Yes,
That could be bad. It could be very bad.
quite
I've heard of a dolphin. Is it a dolphin?
bigger.
So it's not a dolphin.
No, certainly not.
I think we should be safe as long as we stay on the plane.
Yeah, we
but
stay on the- we're-
Unfortunately,
yeah.
the plane is now at a standstill.
And the rudder's underwater. Because you're using it to steer.
Are these creatures attracted to us? I mean, are we potentially going to have to battle them? If so, I say we start the engine up and continue
Yeah.
going straight.
Well, they can certainly follow us longer than we can move.
Not if we hit land.
If we hit land, that's fine. Yes.
I'm
So he
willing
takes
to
out
test
his
it.
binoculars. It's night. He's going to look around, see if any sign of civilization, any lights that he can make out. I imagine the binoculars would be not effective.
No, I mean, not without some type of light source.
But at
illuminating
least
behind.
we could look around. It's nighttime. Any distant lights? Anything
Any
like
distant
that?
light would appear.
Not, from the side of the island that you were on, there was no civilization.
Mostly uninhabited,
or
completely uninhabited.
or blocked by the mountain.
Ah, gotcha.
Professor, the other question is, do you see lightning or any type of weather patterns in any direction?
Look around. I think that would be obvious to anybody, really.
Yeah.
I mean, if lightning is in the distance.
No lightning. I mean, no weather patterns. Just sticking out.
Yeah, like wind picking up, anything like that would indicate a storm.
No, nothing like that.
Well,
Sure.
How windy is it?
It's wind enough if you're thinking
Think
to
we
try
could
to
do a makeshift sail?
Yeah.
Is the wind blowing
With
towards
what?
the island?
All right, everybody strip. Give me your clothes.
You're thinking as I'm taking off my shirt. You're thinking that you can do what with this? Stop the creatures?
Make a makeshift sail.
Roll a d6 for me.
Me?
Yes, you want the higher you roll, the better.
Exploding?
4.
4. It's kind of going in a degree back towards Libya.
I wonder if there's anything inside the plane
Check the planes.
Does the plane have parachutes?
or storage.
I mean, I know that the other one did.
We'll go through the contents of the plane. All right.
I will assist with that to tell you where the different locations.
So
for
plus
storage
one?
Are. Yeah, plus 1.
12.
You find 2 parachutes, one for the pilot and co-pilot.
Hey, look at this. Put your clothes back on, Max.
Very good.
Notice Max was the only one.
Max was already naked, just kind of standing there. So.
I got the idea he was just waiting for that suggestion.
Finally!
We're going native.
I knew this time would come.
About time.
Proudly standing there.
Captain America pose.
Power pose.
All right. So I think I've got the material for the sails. Question is, I'm going to need something to, like a mast of some kind.
When we
Keep
rode,
your clothes on, Max.
when we rode down in the parachutes, which the two of you were not here for, my memory was the chutes themselves held wind. Is it possible that we could simply set them in the direction of this mild wind and have it pull us in?
Yes, but then we would be completely at the mercy of the direction the wind was blowing.
I understand, Professor.
If we can create some sort of a mast and affix a sail to it, then we could use that to...
Is this a biplane?
Yes.
Could we not take the struts from this upper wing and set them up?
Yes, actually, that is a good idea.
She'll probably never fly again.
I think that ship has sailed.
Or that plane has flown, if the euphemisms are correct.
You can see he has concern. He wants this plane to fly again. And you can recall that Ufa, when you first met him, was like, where is my plane? He had mentioned that he owed somebody a plane.
Maybe
I don't think
maybe there's something that we can do once we get back. But us being left out here in the middle of the water with whatever these things are, these triangle creatures,
You look out, there seems to be a couple more that have popped up.
and they appear to be getting thicker.
All right, well, the professor goes to work, I think, setting up the mast first, so starting to detach various things from the upper wing of the biplane to create a mast.
So let's go ahead and make a roll, see how successful you are.
I will definitely be helping.
Let's see here. What would that... Let's go ahead and do survival. Survival or water vehicles, whatever is your best.
If there's anything I can assist, obviously, this is my fault.
We're deconstructing the wing to create a mast.
Yes.
I'm adding a +1.
I can also see science as that too.
Then I will use science.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'll give you a +1
All
if
right.
that's possible.
So basically, I'm supervising. Max, can you do that? And maybe with some help from the jackal.
Azrael fuses together and...
Did you roll a 1?
Man, we were just swinging in it.
So
today.
right when
We're just smoking.
so you get the top one completely off, and it's like, okay, everybody lift on. Whoops. Good news though, it's floating.
Oh, it's still floating.
It's floating,
Oh.
but it's now in the water.
Oh, well, that was unfortunate.
We need to hold on tighter.
Yes. Is it possible to retrieve that?
It's kind of
I
floating
think I can do that.
away,
And
but
I leap into the water.
Oh,
And we're like,
sploosh, you leap
Yep.
in the water.
And I'm going to go to the back end of it and paddle kick it towards the plane.
Okay. As you're paddle kicking, roll a d20.
17.
17. You guys can see the fins and start coming by like they're kind of inspecting, but they don't get too close.
Max,
Yes,
swim faster.
I'm trying. This
think-
is unwieldy.
I think they'll bump you before they bite you.
What?
Don't worry.
Something hits your legs.
Oh, that's not.
Oh.
Could have warned me they were coming.
That's why I said swim faster.
All right, I'm going to endeavor to swim faster, which I don't think I can really do. But
I mean, but it feels like you are.
yeah, okay.
I'll
putting
be down
more effort.
on the pontoons, like trying to reach towards the wing if I could to pull it in.
So I need somebody to roll a strength,
Not me.
but can with assistance. So everyone can help.
I have an 8.
And then when you say everyone, does that include me?
So
Are we basically lifting
one
this
person
up?
needs to roll. So
Yep.
what happens is you're able to get the
Wing.
strut of the
Yeah.
wing back to parallel with the plane.
Now we have to get it.
But now you have to
Pull
get
it
it
onto
up.
the plane.
Correct.
Okay.
And so
Well,
that's going to be a strength roll.
I'll start the roll. So you guys can choose whether you're rolling and adding or just adding
assisting
a
one.
I'm just
I will
gonna
assist you.
Add one.
Yeah.
My strength is 6, so here's your
It's
one.
8.
Yeah, that's it.
So excellent. So that is going to be an 18 total.
18.
Just keep pulling. Pull.
Ah!
Professor, is there any way to lock it in place so it doesn't do that again?
Yes. I'll figure it out. Just get it on the.
So we strap it back
able
up.
to strap it back up.
So I imagine we've got the wing, the main wing, and then this one is a top wing sitting in the
Well,
center of the two.
Right now it's just kind of balanced up on. You
Right.
just like So
So as soon as the winds are down, I say we stand it up, Professor. Do what you need to do once
Professor's
that's.
going to trying to figure
Okay.
out some way to rig it to hold it into place.
Let's try again.
make the science roll.
Is this with the pluses or not this time?
No, you can add the pluses because
Yeah.
he's
So there's going to be
Extra
plus
hands.
4.
I'll give
I'll
you a
roll
plus,
to help.
Are you rolling now?
Yep.
So there's plus 3 and
Plus 20. Plus 25.
Plus 25. I have
well.
a 20.
What'd you roll?
no,
25.
no, you only give him this.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Plus 12.
So plus 3 is
32.
plus 15 to the total.
32.
Out of nowhere, as at one point you're like figuring something like how to get stuff, and then Iara says, "Well, what if we do this?" And just kind of like
There's 2 little
open
holes here. You can
everything.
drop those pieces in and.
Why don't you do this instead?
So yeah, between the assistance that Iara's giving you, how everyone else is helping to be able to stabilize
Wow,
things.
that is an excellent idea. Yes, that will work. That will definitely work.
Okay,
So we've got a mast.
So you've effectively formed a mast using what's left of the vines, cutting a couple bits of the parachute strings to be able to secure into place. But you are positive that this mast is now secured.
Okay.
I'm watching the triangles.
The triangle.
Now it's time to make the sail, I guess.
Now it's time to make the sails.
So we'll start. We have the cutting implements still. I think we can just cut the parachutes into sail shape and attempt to attach them to the mast.
Jackal, are the creatures connected to the triangles, are they edible? Are they food?
Yes, they make a particularly delicious soup.
If not friend, why friend shaped?
Yeah.
We don't have a way to make soup here, but
I would not
it's been
suggest
a while
lighting a
we've
fire
eaten since
here.
we've eaten.
So go ahead and roll the science to build the sails.
All right.
Before he finishes with the number, is there a way any of us can help with this?
Yeah, because it's this is
Everyone?
everyone can help.
It's plus 4.
Because again, it's
Science?
holding this down, tie this here, put this knot, put your finger
Are you gonna
here.
roll for it?
Yeah.
So we've got plus 3 and
A -1.
plus 2.
17.
17. Yeah, you're able to get the sails on. Now I want you to roll scholar.
I'm assuming this we cannot help.
This you cannot.
15.
15. You think you can set up a potential countersail to catch the wind from the propeller or from one of the propellers to blow in. And
Oh,
then,
interesting. So use the wind from the propeller to propel the sailboat. Now that's an interesting idea.
So we suck.
We
We go reverse in a way,
Ye-
or because if hold on a second. Yeah.
And then use
This is the Nile. Just
use
pretend
the
it works.
sails, basically as rigging for direction.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would work.
So, Professor, where do you want us to stand? I mean, are we running this sail? Jackal, are you going to be able to
I don't
move
know.
the
Do
conveyance?
you have any proficiency in sailing? Jack?
Water vehicles, out of character. I don't have any ads in it, but I have a 13 for the total. So
Yeah, good.
I'm pretty good at maneuvering equipment, but in terms of experience with this is limited.
Yeah, I have no experience sailing. I
Well,
do
I've
know
I've never seen a large body of water since coming here, prior to coming here.
So, out of character, the professor believes the theory sounds, but you won't know until it actually gets applied by somebody who can sail.
All right, well, let's give it a shot. It's worth trying.
So I'll ask again, where do you wish us to stand, Professor?
Right now, it doesn't matter. Let me rig up. I'm going to attempt to rig that up. Use the remainder of the parachutes to rig up this contraption. And this is going to be the rigging in order to attempt to do as you say, move the air from the propeller into the... Which means we would be going, like, backwards then. We'd have to sail in reverse.
Yes.
Which means... Yeah, that's
So left is right, right
We're
is left.
also going to need some sort of... It would be very janky if we don't have some sort of rudder as well.
Or a yard arm.
Or yard arm. Yes.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, Professor, but just tell us what we need to do. The triangles are getting closer.
So, based off your rules, that, like you said, the theory's there. You just need to figure out a way to do it.
So we would need a yard arm and some sort of rigging.
I mean, we've already used everything we have, correct?
We haven't used this lower.
Well, we do have... what is covering the wings? Is it basically just canvas?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a canvas material.
We have the wing from the other side, which actually might be worth removing the top wing from the other side to keep things in balance as well. Perhaps we could remove that wing, use some of the material from the wing, remove the canvas to create a yard arm, and perhaps we could strip the canvas off to create rigging. What do you think?
That would probably be the best use of those materials at this point.
Let's do that. That's what the professor's going to attempt to do.
Make the science roll.
All right, now can we help with that one? Because
Oh,
we're
yeah.
helping
Because
cut.
he's yeah, exactly.
I'll just add one.
So +1 for me.
So +4
Plus
total?
4.
All right. 24.
24. Again, what you have jury-rigged, in theory, should work. You're positive of that.
It will work. I'm sure of it.
In theory.
Let's get this
then
started.
Let's roll.
Then. Everybody, hold on.
I'm gonna strap in this time.
Yeah.
So
worry.
yeah, so like one of the struts are gone. The
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the steel posts that were holding the two together, they've been cannibalized to steady the canvas on the yard arm, and so
I'm gonna strap onto the body of it.
you start the engine, the propellers, and so now go ahead and make your water vehicles roll.
Good lord. It'll be 14.
14. You guys are moving towards what you believe that the direction to where Libya is now.
Oh boy.
Okay.
But you are moving. It's moving backwards than what the plane is originally meant to go, but you're moving in the right direction.
Okay, so I need to turn. Is that...
Yeah, we need to
I would imagine
turn.
we need to turn around. Okay, so I
Go in
begin
the
the
wrong
turn.
direction.
And so this time, the turning maneuver is not based off of the rudder. It's based off the yard arm and how he rigged the sails.
It's like the middle of.
So we need to turn the yard arm.
Okay.
Which direction?
I'm not 100% sure.
Just go left.
Yes.
Port side. Go port.
All right, is that
turn
which
it
way
that
is,
way.
is
Like
it?
the alcohol.
Point.
Yeah. This way, and I point
All right,
to the left.
and I turn it
Do it
that
slowly. Slowly.
Slowly, yes.
So yeah, he made his roll, and been able to figure out, but with the use of the yard arm, with the propellers acting as the wind source,
And I think with some experimentation, we could
Oh, yeah.
get it down.
Absolutely you are.
Yep.
It's probably going to be a long, bumpy sail to Libya, but
So
Well,
we're going right across the
I
Mediterranean.
wasn't aware that we were going to Libya. I thought we were going to look for civilization on this island.
I mean, we should probably get off the island.
Is this Libya place a place that we would find people and ability to contact the Delphi Council?
I'm sure of it. It just depends on is Libya under Mobius rule right now?
well, half of
Half of it is.
Benghazi's in
with
Libya.
him. Yeah,
But
That's
didn't
where we just came from.
Yeah, but didn't we come from more west where it wasn't under Mobius rule?
we
originally?
did. We originally did. Yeah.
Right. So that's you met in Tripoli for the Delphi Council, but you left from Benghazi, which is Nile.
Well, I don't know how much gas we have. That is my concern.
Well, presumably, theoretically, we could still sail it even without the propeller as propulsion.
I'm thinking of this journey. It is treacherous.
Roll air vehicles.
There has to be a fuel gauge, right?
That would be a 7.
A 7. The fuel says that you have about 3/4, but normally things like lift, drag would go into calculations for the fuel. But with this setup, you just don't. You can't begin to guess what it's going.
I
to
imagine
be.
There's significantly more draft.
Yeah, there's probably more drag here with
drag,
the water.
yes.
But it's also, you also do know that it's not necessarily the fuel usage of propelling, the plane
Yeah,
forward.
it's not going
so
like
it's just you're just
500
creating
miles
air,
an hour.
right?
Yeah, or however many miles an hour a biplane went. Probably not that fast.
So to your best guess, you don't know, but you do
Still-
have 3/4
still
of a tank
unaware,
of fuel.
unfortunately. But I do have 3/4 of a tank.
I'll cross my fingers.
If
That's
we're
all
going
I
to
can
Libya, are we going to circumnavigate the island?
The only problem with circumnavigating circling the island is if we don't find any civilization on the island, we've wasted fuel.
I think
So-
we should go back to Libya.
I think so too.
Libya is big enough that we won't miss it.
I'm
It's
sure.
very large.
Yeah, we'll certainly see it. I'm sure.
Then I vote Libya as well.
Oh
And Libya is where you're from.
no,
That's where I'm from.
Where you're from. All right. So somebody, a guide that will know the area. Then I doubly vote Libya.
Okay, turning towards Libya.
So question now, are you aiming for Benghazi, back from where you started, or are you aiming for Tripoli to where Delphi Council was at?
So, to my knowledge, Mobius was mobilizing forces. He was mobilizing his forces to attack, theoretically.
He was mobilizing, but for what purpose, that hasn't been discerned yet.
Yeah, but the Delphi Council was also amassing the Core Earth alliance.
The third option would to be just aim for the closest point in Libya, which would be neither of those.
I really think that we should just go to where the closest point is. We don't have
But
a
we would
lot
be
of fuel.
a significant away from either Benghazi or Tripoli. From that
Yeah, I
point.
mean, even like no matter what, we're significantly away from everything. Crete is in
Could we
Greece.
make it to the island and then, or this Libya? I don't know if it's an island
It
actually.
is
but,
not an island.
Then could we make it to the continent and then go along the shore, and then
That's a
if
good
we run
idea.
out of gas or fuel, we run out.
Yeah.
Most direct
Straight line.
point to Libya and then along the shore as far as we can go.
Look at the compass. Point us south. Is that possible?
Yep.
All right. We're gonna go south until we hit shore, and then whatever we can make on whatever.
And then
fuel
head
we
west
has.
from there.
Yeah, we go west from there. If we need to, we'll have to get off and secure either gasoline or a better vehicle. I can certainly fly if you get us a decent plane.
It won't be this one.
No, it most certainly will not. Not anymore. And I look at it, a little sad.
Doesn't even resemble a plane.
No, no longer.
Go ahead and make a water vehicles for how well you can follow a course.
Can I give him +1 using science to help with navigation?
With the stars, absolutely.
That is not a good roll. So you're giving me +1, and that's not to the total. It's to the.
That would be
Yes,
to
plus
the
one's
total.
to the total. yep.
Okay, so that'd be 10.
10? Yep. You're able to get definitely back to Libya, and so if you turn west, you're going to be heading back towards Benghazi. If you turn east, you'll be heading back towards Tripoli.
How's the fuel?
Actually, no, excuse me.
No, Tripoli would be further
Yes.
west
Yeah,
from
much
Benghazi.
further. Yeah.
Yes.
So-
As I saw the map in my mind, I
But we could go to Cairo.
Yeah, we could turn east and
Could-
go to.
yeah.
Where would the Spectre most likely be?
He generally operates out of Cairo, and in the. I met him in the Valley of the Kings, which is south.
Do we have any resources in Cairo that we could make use of?
I have friends in the area, but I don't know what they're.
Were they friends with your other friend?
Yeah. Some of them were in the military with me, and
Is it possible they would know what happened and therefore consider helping you life-threatening?
I can't guarantee that.
As you guys are discussing this, Iara's question about why would Aspartes send, who else knew that you guys were going there? And so that kind of creeps back into your mind.
Oh yeah, Aspartes is.
So potentially, he very well could be in Benghazi.
I say we
Yeah.
go back to where we.
And if
just
you
came
think
from.
it's the professor is some link to this, and the professor is in Benghazi, correct?
Correct.
Then Benghazi might be the way.
Yeah.
He's at the
We
same
could at
univ-
least
confront him.
And we intend to.
speak with him. Yes.
But if we're again in that nightclub, it may be a battle. I mean, just to let you No.
I'm prepared to send anybody to the afterlife that I need to.
I was thinking of us.
Oh, we
I think
certainly
he's
will be
prepared to
going.
send you to the afterlife. As was fairly
you are the
clear in
necessary
that
one to
previous
go.
fight.
I would rather stay in the before life right now, thank you.
The current life, present.
Well, it seems that Benghazi is the best direction to go right now, so we're going to head west. Hopefully the fuel holds out. So how long do we make it before the fuel goes out?
So you go through the night. Like I said, it's not a smooth ride, but you figure by the time you get to morning and you are on fumes, but the propellers are still going, and you might make it actually into Benghazi.
Wow, that's shocking to me. All right. And I kind of a stats report for everybody, as I've probably driven through the entire night.
Everyone is tired because you can't get sleep on this. Haven't drank anything and haven't eaten anything. So at this point, everybody is stymied, actually very stymied, because of hunger
Ouch.
and thirst and tired.
First things first is we need to get some food and sleep.
Would it
we get
be?
to wherever we're going.
Are there any Finns coming after us anymore?
No.
We've left them in the
Yeah,
dust.
you've left them in the dust.
Damn it. Oh, okay, that's a problem. Yeah, I don't know that there's anything I can do right now, so we'd have to go on land in order to get ourselves situated. If we wish to take a break, maybe take this time to recoup, see if we can find some food and water. I think that would probably be best.
I think that would
It's been
be
a
the best
very long
idea.
night.
Yes.
Yeah, that's about all I can all I can ask right now if anybody else is interested.
So are you trying to go back to the airport from where you took off at? Are you trying to find a port or just the nearest place where you can see something that potentially can provide, food and water and a restaurant too?
I recall us being pursued out of Benghazi, so perhaps we don't go directly into it.
Or at the very least, we don't.
With this contraption that stands out.
Let's not go to a main area to
Have you
drop.
considered a port where we could potentially get ourselves rest and food, and then we can take a vehicle back to Benghazi?
Ports are notorious for criminal activity.
Perfect.
Wouldn't that be the type of thing that would allow us to sneak in a little more undetected?
My concern is that the criminal activity is what we're trying to avoid. The people within that organization are
So
who
the
is after
Spectre
us.
runs most of
The
the
people with
ports.
the little legs.
And people with the little legs are not necessarily law-abiding. My only
Perhaps we
concern
could
is that
just
we'd come across more of them.
make land close by to a port and walk in
That's what I was suggesting.
stealth.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Lead on.
All right.
Go ahead and make your last water vehicles roll.
Okay, here we go. Come on, don't let me down. There, you did. Look at you, just promptly let me down. Okay, that would be 9.
A 9. So
Oh, actually, wait, even worse because it's -4, right? For Siamese.
yeah,
all
yeah.
It's
checks.
very stymied.
So it's 5.
5. So the way that you plan to shoot to find just an inlet of
place,
land
yeah.
that's nearby close to where you can walk, but the way that you maneuvered, and as the engine kind of propeller starts sputtering, you find yourself going directly into the airport from which you left.
I really don't mean to do this, everybody.
Well, this doesn't look like outside the port, as you had suggested.
It's not. It is currently
This
not.
actually looks
like
really
a-
familiar.
It looks like an airfield.
It's the airfield we took off from. Precisely where I wanted to bring us. No, it's not.
Is there another? Yeah, no, never mind. Disregard.
Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing I could do now. I can't re-roll that, so...
What time
This
of
is
day
where we're
and or
going.
night is it?
It's about 6 a.m. now.
All right, so it's fully light. We're going to come in like a beacon.
I'm sure no one will notice.
I would suggest we take out binoculars and look. Can we see anything?
Yeah, can everybody take a look right now while I man this thing?
Sure.
Shall I look ahead for?
You see about 6 people looking binoculars like this.
Get off the plane and
They can't tell what it is because
What
is
the
that a
hell is
boat or
this?
an airplane?
we're a distance away from the actual terminal or anything though, right? I'm assuming.
Well, because the airship was about a mile inland, but there was that's not just empty space. There
Gotcha.
was it's not a port, so it's not like you're coming in, but
Right.
it's
Perhaps we just make land and then run.
I would find that to be the best, yeah.
So it does appear we are drawing some attention.
how can we turn it to our advantage? Are the locals surprised by tricks or anything like that?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I realize that you're flying.
Of course, that could just draw more attention.
Yes, I understand it. I was just thinking the jackal might pull upon your paparazzi. Those that know you and love you. Fans.
I don't know.
That would be a good idea if you're trying to avoid whoever it was that was followed you onto the aircraft.
No one knows you, Professor.
That is,
you?
Well, thank you very much. I'm known in a few circles.
Are you known in the circles here?
Probably not. No.
But that would be perfect then. You could open yourself up to a new group of fans, and is that the way that works here? I'm just
The circles that you are known in are completely academic.
Yes. I don't think that would work. Outside of the academic field, I'm not very well known.
So, may I suggest that what I have seen so far is, well, at least from my world, things go off here bigger than where I'm from. Maybe we could create such a ruckus or an arrival that it would hide us.
Perhaps since we
A distraction.
were the victims of the big explosion, we could say that we had been marooned on an island for a couple of days and we've managed to make our way back and we need
Tale
some
telling.
assistance.
That's
Yeah.
very good.
And because it's not really a lie.
Okay.
My only concern here is that my mask.
So
I
you
would need to heal in order to take it off.
Oh, you can't take it off at all.
No.
Oh, Professor?
Your injuries are too old for me to heal with
They are
first
quite
aid.
old.
Yes.
I forget how we heal wounds.
At this point, it's rest and care. So, if it's more than an hour after the wound is received, you can't heal it with
What if-
first aid.
I have an idea. What if you are bringing me to justice for blowing up the Zeppelin?
And how would that work? What is your thinking?
We arrive on land, and you say we were survivors from the Zeppelin. We've caught the culprit involved, and wish to bring him to justice for his nefarious deeds.
Wouldn't that just bring more of those people that are... What about Azrael? A new masked person on the scene. You can do your lightning thing. I mean, that's not a common ability, right?
Not very much. Not. Yeah.
Why are we trying to attract attention to ourselves?
Not attract. Create a disturbance in a direction would be opposite the direction we wish to go.
Distract.
You do know Aftershock. He actually is a lightning-based hero.
Oh, aftershock. Okay, so it's not entirely uncommon, but
What does that person look like? Does that person look like Azrael?
No,
no, he's rather large.
What if I got on Max's shoulders and we put a trench coat?
Oh, I would love to see this.
I'm game.
Do we have a trench coat?
Do we have a large enough trench coat?
Can we fashion a trench coat out of the...
And then, like, when I do
We're
things
not
like
going to
this,
need the sails or parachutes.
A trench coat made out of parachutes.
Just a
This
covering.
would definitely be interesting.
a drape.
I'm just...
I mean, they are watching us. but
I'm afraid...
They're all watching us with binoculars. So whatever we
when you
do.
say that and look over, you see that the crowd has grown, and now there seems to be like kids coming, and people are kind of running in over, and there's a sign that says, "We love you, Jackal."
No way.
I thought you said you didn't know anyone here.
I didn't think that I did. I mean, I knew...
Could it be a
my
ruse?
friend Mustafa, but...
Could it be somebody, possibly the Spectre, trying to lure you in?
Potentially.
Both of you guys know that costume heroes are often met with, adoring fanfare.
I'm willing to chance it though. If we can go in under your
It seems
fanship.
unlikely that we would bring him to justice with him.
Yeah, I don't
Not
think.
with a
I
crowd
don't
like that.
With
I don't
him,
think we should do that. I
with
think
him
we simply
piloting
land.
us.
Well,
Yeah.
Someone could certainly take the reins now. It's not a far distance.
Okay.
And go for a distance.
Professor?
We're surrounded by sharks.
Sure.
Basically, all you have to do is not touch anything.
Yeah.
and just
Just leave it right there.
I can do that.
You can see on the bottom of the floorboards it says "spare rudder" underneath it. No, I'm joking.
Son of a...
So as you guys start getting closer, the crowd has gotten
Pilot
larger.
seat may be used as a rudder in the case of emergency.
So as you start getting in, you can see that the crowd has grown. There's maybe about 50 people now. And when they got confirmation that the Twilight Jackal is on board this odd craft, they start cheering.
Well,
It
let's
turns
just
out I
lean
have
into
fans.
it. I say we lean into it.
You should ask them if they have any food.
Some water.
I have a speech prepared for when we disembark.
Good.
Alrighty.
So do we
Excellent.
stay in mass, or do we allow the jackal to draw their attention and then we escape and set a meeting place?
That one.
Yeah,
Very good.
agreed.
Jackal, can you give us a place to meet that only you would know?
You create the
Other than
distraction.
telling us.
we'll get
I
away.
think the doctor would be better at this because he's from Benghazi.
Well, if you're going to meet us, it should be someplace you know.
What about Mustafa's place? It should
We-
not have as much heat on it now.
We could. Mustafa's place. I take it you all familiar with where it might be.
No, but if you give the professor the directions, I'm certain that he could find it, right?
Okay.
It's not that big of a city.
I tell you about exactly where Mustafa's place is, and
Once we get closer, we'll.
I tell you that he was killed in a gunfight during an ambush, so his house should be vacant.
Okay. I could get us too close to the area. I assume that once we're in the area that
I think we
these
could.
will be able to
I think
find
we
the
definitely
specific
could.
place. Yes. Okay,
We
that'll
could
work.
also link up with Delight.
Delight.
Dahlia Delight?
Donna
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 Delight,
Delight.
yeah. She's Musad, and we can I'm sure find ample protection with her.
We would have to find her first,
She
of
wasn't
course.
keen on.
She wasn't.
We didn't go with her plan, and she didn't go with our plan. So, not that she would hurt us, but I
Well-
don't think she would help.
Perhaps as a backup plan.
Let's get back.
Once we split, are we going to steal a vehicle? Are we going to walk? Is there some other way to get to
How
town?
far away are we?
Are they all still in garb, like traditional?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I take I am as well, still minus the mask.
Well, the mask has changed the outward appearance to like be more jackalish.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
So, but Ufa is still dressed as
Okay.
in what his clothes would be.
perfect. Okay.
I say we look for some kind of vessel to, once we are away.
Okay, that's the plan. We're going to split off as soon as he lands and try and sneak out, find a car, or some other way to get to Mustafa's.
So, as you start getting closer, people are cheering and Jackal, we love you, and somebody holds a sign, "Marry me, Jackal." And
Jesus.
John 3:16.
Miss Jessica's there.
so as you just. So you kind of like stand up, at what have been the tail of it, and just assume the captain pose, and just
as it slowly.
makes his way in, and everyone's just now again cheering, and people actually get down and kneel on the ground so you have a place to walk and don't get your boots wet.
Jesus.
Wow.
Damn.
That's incredible.
And then they pull up the second he's off, so we all can jump in the
Adoration
water.
there.
I look back
And
and
so
you're like,
as you get up on shore, the crowd starts this kind of just gathering around you and touching you for luck, and you go about your speech that you have prepared.
oh boy, all right.
And everyone else, roll stealth, individual.
Oh boy.
10.
14.
12.
4.
So it was an 8 difficulty because it's easy because everyone's looking at him. And so as you guys start away, you hear somebody yell, "And he was with him!" And then the mob kind of starts coming around you, Professor.
Yes. I was there. Absolutely.
And of course, my trusty sidekick.
What's his name? Everyone, the crowd just kind of grows deathly silent as everyone's holding their breath.
Now's
I'm
our
like-
chance. Now we move.
You guys scurry away.
Yes, I think we have to leave him behind.
People turning blue.
Holding their breath.
Professor Anubis!
A new sign comes up. "We love you, Professor Anubis."
It was behind the first one.
From somewhere.
Quickly scrawled out.
And big bubble
Still
letters
dripping.
that are perfect.
So, you guys make free.
At this point, we've heard the address, so we know where we're going.
Okay.
So
And we have been there a couple times.
Yeah, I've been
now.
there. Yeah, I've been there before.
If I had played that first, it would have been perfect. This is a perfect card.
Oh.
What is
Look
it?
at that card.
Mistaken.
Can I play it after the fact?
So go ahead and roll streetwise to be able to make your way back to
All of us?
Mustafa's. No, one person, but some with assistance.
A 6.
All right.
Oh, no.
Well, that's a 4 total.
We're about to get
So-
lost in Benghazi.
Nope, that's a 6 total.
Also, you have
You're
the
very
-4
stymied.
from very stymied.
That's
yeah.
a 2 total.
You get there, but you don't get there till about like 2:00 in the afternoon.
No, I told you it was this way. This
No,
way.
I'm pretty sure it's this way.
And then Azrael's
Does he
like,
not
no, it's
understand?
this way.
Does he not understand what we're asking him?
And by the time we find
While
it,
the
we've gone
door
down
to
every
the
street.
place is right behind them.
Yeah,
We're like, it's this way, and the door's right here.
No, it seems like we've come this way before.
It's got the police tape across the door.
The blown up Jeeps are still right in front of it.
Chalk outlines everywhere.
This looks really familiar, but it doesn't. I think it's a different one street over.
There's a chalk outline on the roof on one of the buildings.
Actually on the wall.
Yeah.
So when you do eventually find it, the chalk outlines, are definitely there for the ones that were. Then it's like weird because they're like overlapped with each other. But you don't see any
tiny
other.
little
You don't see
lights.
law enforcement. This was before there was crime scene tape, and you definitely don't see the vehicle, the mob goon vehicle standing by. They're gone, except for the one that blew up.
Quickly, my friend's inside.
Yes.
As you open the door and get inside, Mustafa's getting pretty ripe, so it stinks. They
Just
even
left
take 'em
the
out?
body.
didn't go inside.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I say we find food.
Yes.
Remember where I come
Right.
from.
Yeah, this doesn't bother you.
Nope. Nope.
I like dead things.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm tempted.
Like, do you think if she turns him back
I've
to life,
already
he'll
thought
stop
it.
stinking a little bit?
Yeah, animate him.
Oh yeah. Might turn off the smell.
Or at least you can make him walk outside
Just
and
go
then lay him
somewhere
back
else.
down.
I can only do this once a day.
So we don't have to touch
lay
him.
him back down. We could at the very least use him as a warning, just in case somebody comes
Sure,
through. so
absolutely.
I'm going to create a zombie.
Okay.
Have him go sit on the porch or something,
Yeah.
as long as he's not in here.
I'm not there.
Good luck, guys.
They're going to come back to him on the
It's
porch.
on the boards, right? Mustafa, you're alive.
Now wait just a minute. Hug him. Do you want to hug him?
17.
Mustafa, as his head just and you hear his neck kind of snap back into place, and his arms just all twisted around. He kind of just twists it back into normal anatomically correct position, and
How much? What is 5 over a difficulty?
good success.
Okay, so he's got a +1 to the wound, just in case he does need to be used. Okay, can you sit outside?
And he turns around, just kind of slams open the door. Like 3:00 in the afternoon in this neighborhood.
And I'm like, whew.
In death that's in life, he helped me so well. My good friend.
He sits outside on the porch.
So, back to looking for food.
Yes.
You
Is
guys
that
are able
better?
to find food.
So much better, thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys, Professor Anubis and the Jackal.
I'm gonna hearken to the crowds that are surrounding me and the Professor Anubis. I've helped you all so much that now at this point I require your help.
And so, Jackal, what can we do? And you hear somebody say, Jackal, Benghazi Press. And so, get together with Professor Anubis. And so, screws in the big
Yeah.
flash bulb.
Yeah, we're just both like wide-eyed.
Shot.
I look perfect, as in like the comic book, like. But
like a little shine on your
Yes, the professor's hair is like sticking out on it. He's got this wide look of shock.
Bottle
on his
glasses
face.
that make your eyeballs really magnified.
Yeah. I'm like, we require rest, and we require food and water. We've been sailing across the Mediterranean Sea on our trusty craft that Professor Anubis has created for us.
Yay! As people yell and cheer for the professor's craftiness.
So, without further ado, these are the tasks that I require from the most faithful among us.
Yes, of course, Professor Tipton from Benghazi Press is what criminal are you finding? What dastardly deem are you opposing?
The Amaranthian Spectre.
Ooh, everyone just kind of, the crowd just kind of, like, there's a big, just wave of ooh, and it tremors. Yeah. Everyone kind of gets quiet, and Tipton, he kind of looks around. He's like, what is the Spectre doing?
The Spectre has defiled the tomb of King Minos.
You hear a child cry in the crowd from somewhere.
Yeah. I know, it is very sad, but I will bring him to justice. Do not fret.
Yes! The crowd cheers.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, I don't know what else I want to say here.
So, after much pomp and circumcise, so
pomp and circumcise.
I don't like the sound of that.
This sounds terrible.
That's pomp and circumcise.
Pomp and circumcise.
I didn't sign up for that.
It took me a second. I was reaching. I was like, "That's not the right word."
Out of character, I'm so used as just my pun that in character it came out unwittingly. So after much pomp and circumstance, the crowd just kind of seems to like, okay, that's old news. And
and they disperse.
Yes.
But is there anybody left that I can require the aid that I...
Oddly, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Fans.
Yep.
They're fickle.
They are fickle. Yeah.
Although I do need both of you guys to roll a streetwise.
-4, huh?
-4.
This isn't going to go well. What's streetwise based off of?
Charisma.
Yes.
That's a 9.
9.
-4.
Just with the long day, no food, no water, being up, and after a fight.
I'm just stumbling aimlessly.
Yeah.
Relying on the jackal to basically lead me wherever.
Yep. Where are you guys going?
So, are there any cloths or anything I can use to wrap around my head to look like someone from outside of the town? That's in the sense of like a turban or a wrap or something to cover my face.
No, because even if you put a turban, you still have the jackal snout sticking out.
That's a good point. Shit. I mean, my first.
The best thing you can do right now is just find some place to rest and let your body heal that wound.
Yeah, Mustafa's is going to be the best, but getting there is an issue.
Getting there is going to be an issue.
Well, it's a good thing that my stealth is amazing. However, I just put him in the limelight, and he needs to come with me.
Perhaps a vehicle.
Yeah, I was going to say, the only way to do it is to steal a vehicle.
Didn't we leave a vehicle behind there?
Yeah, it's probably gone now.
So, based off of, you can, but you also know that based off of what, costume heroes and whatnot, that wouldn't be in alignment with what a costume hero would do.
Huh. So, no, that's not right. I definitely wouldn't want to do that. I don't want to stoop to the Amaranthian Spectre's level.
Exactly. Because remember, the law of heroism is in play.
Yeah, it is. I honestly, I can't even think right now. I'm just stumped.
As you guys are walking, and kind of like just figuring out what's going on, you look up and just down the corner you see Benghazi Airport Motel.
Perfect. She'll do just fine.
I think so. Yes.
When you need rest. And a little something to eat.
When you're tired and hungry, our doors welcome you.
Perfect.
This airport is very useful.
I'm going to ask you to procure us a room for the evening.
I think I could do that.
And make sure it includes the finest food service that one can procure, and potentially a doctor.
I can provide medical
Okay,
attention
never mind then.
once I have had some rest.
Okay, perfect. And I think I forgot exactly how much money I had left.
You had plenty of money
I
still.
had plenty of
Yeah.
money, so I'm like, here's like 300. Figured
That
out.
should be enough.
Yeah.
So the professor goes to get the room. As you start to put your money back, you actually see a folded piece of paper that wasn't there before.
I open up this piece of paper.
So in a very elegant script, you read the words that says, "Come to the kitty alone, or the fair damsel from Aurora dies." Signed, A.
Solid. So, when you come back, I show this note to you. It seems as if our friend's life is in danger at this point.
The back of the note as he turns it over says, "Show no one." Oop.
Whoops.
He holds it up to show.
And I'm sorry, what is the kitty?
It is a gentleman's club establishment, so to speak, that Professor Esparti frequents.
I see.
And it said A on it?
And I'd imagine the A is Amaranth the Inspector.
Gotcha.
It turns out our suspicions were correct. My trusty sidekick, Professor Anubis.
Should have never doubted you.
What do you do?
Well,
Let's get the food first. Let's get food.
We absolutely need food, water, and rest. I don't think we'd be of any use in our current condition.
It would be nothing short of a disaster.
Yeah. Yes.
Even a masked superhero such as myself requires sustenance.
So I will procure a room, food sent out to the room.
So you got that, no problem. But you went in and got the room, and then when you go back in, you order room service up to the room. So you get up there, and I mean, it's a nice room. You know, it's like 1930s parlor, and then you hear room service.
Just a moment. X-ray vision through the door.
X-ray vision through the door. You see somebody dressed in motel, like a motel busboy, but he's
How tiny
really
the legs.
big
Ah,
and
son of
really
a
small.
bitch. So with shit, we haven't had anything. I'm gonna.
Carrying a tray, like with a silver platter and just.
Okay. Does he have a rose box with him, or a suitcase?
I can't tell.
Okay.
You can't see through the dinner cover.
Yeah. It is only one layer of things that I can see through, so. And I'm gonna go to the professor and kind of bring my voice real low for him to hear. It seems as if there is a lobster just outside the door. I hope you're right.
Room service.
Is there only one of them?
As far as I know, but there are 2 guns. Bring both my 1911s up. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but we should be ready.
Okay. Ready as I'll ever be while in my current condition.
Yes. Absolutely. And I'm gonna take the door, open it, and I'm just gonna turn the knob and slowly bring the door open, but I'm gonna stand behind the door, and it opens up to presumably an empty room.
So you feel the door kind of push up against you, but no pressure. Just like as he's trying to push forward. Do you allow the door to open?
I do allow the door to open.
So allow the door to open. Guy steps in, just has to come dipping underneath there, and so he just walks in and then lifts up the platter, and you hear tink, a little snick, and as gas. I need you guys to roll. This is going to be a strength. Well, actually, let me roll what the knockout is.
You guys are about to die.
I just 20.
Okay, good stuff.
I don't think
There's nothing I can do here.
Yeah.
Another
No.
20.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
So that was a 46 altogether. Yeah, so I need you guys to roll willpower
at -4.
at -4.
That would be a 2.
Okay.
The last thing is like your eyes just kind of go across, and you're like, that's not right.
A 6.
6, and you're kind of just like looking at the jackal as he went down, and your mind just can't possibly fathom what's going on, and as you go down, scene fades to black, and we'll end this right here.
Jeez Louise.
Thank you for joining us on another NCRP Productions podcast. We couldn't do this without you, so please like and subscribe everywhere we're found, including YouTube, Facebook, Anchor, Google, Apple, Spotify, and other great podcast sites. If you'd like to help us continue making more content, we'd love to have your support on our Patreon. And we'd like to give a special shout out to our current patrons, our Siegson Employees of the Month, Michael H., Greg K., F.S., and our Breaker of Seals, Frank H., Christopher C., Matthew K. Thank you all. We truly, truly appreciate it. And a very special thanks to our fantastic artist, Jacob Blackmon, who you can reach on his Patreon under his name, or Deviant Art under the name Prodigy Duck.